Well, hello, and thanks for stopping by. This is volume 136 of My Prostate is Trying to Kill Me. I'm Mark Graves, just a regular guy fighting prostate cancer, and these wonderful human beings are the cancer crew. Go ahead and raise your hand so everybody knows who you are. We got Ski with us this morning, and we got Lee, and we've got David, Indio, Brian, and Jack. Great. Now everybody knows who everybody is. All right, so this is our prostate cancer. I had to write it down so I can say it correctly. Prostate Cancer Warrior Virtual Lunch. This is the second one we've done, and it's also remember everyone deployed Friday, Red Friday. So God bless our troops. Praying for all of them until every one of them comes home. Also Free Tea Friday. So we'll just get this out of the way at the beginning of this. Brian, give me a word of the day.
The word of the day is tater tots.
Tater tots. There you go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to win a free T-shirt, prostate cancer T-shirt, let's see. You guys both have. Okay, Jack, you've got the FU one. Oh, yeah, you both have that one on.
So tater tots two-word.
Yeah, you can either. You can. It works.
Okay.
You can smush it together and make it one word. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we give away one of two T-shirts, either that one that the guys are wearing today, or we also have the one that says, I'm battling prostate cancer. What's your superpower? So, and congratulations again to Melissa, who won last week, who I don't have it in the mail yet. I can't believe it. It's sitting right over there. Also, we'll put in some of the prostate cancer awareness bracelets that are in there. And the newest thing that I started doing, these are pins. Well, buttons, but I think they call them pin backs. All right. So here's the unveiling. You guys haven't even seen these yet.
Ah,
nice.
Okay. And then it's got a pin on the back. All right.
Cool.
We'll throw a couple of those in there.
Draw blood.
I'll be bringing these to lunch next Friday too, for you guys that are local, and the guys that aren't local, watch the mailbox. Okay, so tater tots in the comments below if you want to take a chance. Sunday at noon, I'll do the drawing, pick out a name, and then we'll award the winner. So the topic for today is hot flashes, hence my background. Got the flames and stuff. So just by a show of hands, how many guys are on ADT? Okay, so we got all but two are on.
Can't even spell it.
And how many of you guys are experiencing hot flashes as an issue? Wow. That's crazy. I don't know how you guys pulled that off.
I'm not on ADT, but I had one last night.
Did you really?
Every now and then I do have one. My testosterone is really low naturally.
Yeah. That would do it. So just a quick catch up for people who are watching this that aren't aware of what it is. Those of us who are most of us that are having the hot flashes are getting a hormone treatment, and it's called androgen deprivation therapy, ADT. And some of us are on different drugs, but basically what it does is it stops the production of testosterone in your body. And when a male body doesn't have testosterone, the estrogen says, well, hey, we have a void here, let's fill it. So
it turns into a bitch.
Yeah. So you get to share all the cool things with your wife going through menopause, not to mention you get, nice B cup things going on here, and the gut that I can't see past right now. But along with that is the hot flashes. And I have a seriously hard time with the hot flashes. I mean, they're incredible to the point where I installed an in-window air conditioner in my bedroom, and I have a remote control for it. So I go to sleep at night. I don't even sleep under the covers. I just have a little throw blanket over the top of me, and I sleep on top of the comforter. And then the hot flash wakes me up. My hand knows exactly where to go. I hit the remote, I turn it on, and then some of them last, 2 minutes. Some of them last 10 minutes. And as soon as it's done and I start to get chilly again, turn the thing on and, put the blanket back on. So that's how I handle them. During the day, you just have to put up with it. Some of them I get warm. Some of them, my forehead just, sweat pops out of there. And it is pretty nasty. So how are you guys dealing with yours?
Throw the covers off and wait till it stops. That's pretty much what it is. I mean,
How long does it last usually?
well, mine lasts are pretty short. I'm probably would say a minute to 2 minutes tops, and then I'm back to normal. But like, there'll be times that I'm working and I feel like all of a sudden, it's not that hot, but I'm all of a sudden just sweating, and just keep going. It's a pain in the butt, but it's better than being dead.
Do you have a ceiling fan up there, Jack?
Yeah, I have a ceiling fan, and I have a fan that's right by my bed that if it gets too bad, I just turn it on.
Indio has a ceiling fan.
I thought that was a cool hat. Your mic's turned off, Indio.
Oh, I just use it for decoration, not really much else. It's still cool in Florida,
What
for
is
our standards, so it's not too bad.
what does cool in Florida mean? What kind of numbers are we talking about?
Oh, 70s, low 80s, right, Lee?
Yeah. I was down at the St. Pete Pier all day yesterday. Actually from about 5:30 to 8 o'clock, doing a shoot for myself and another photographer. We were down there, so it was absolutely gorgeous yesterday. Humidity was low. It was beautiful down there. So.
That's the key. That's the key. It's the humidity is low down here.
Yep.
It doesn't get anything like what you guys get out in California or Arizona.
And that's the trick. Is I can't imagine
It's 36 degrees right now.
In that kind of humidity and a hot flash. Wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, we had snow last night, so if it got too bad, I just walked outside.
That's nice about having extreme temperature like that. With extreme temperatures, you can walk outside for a few seconds.
Right.
That is bizarre.
I use my ceiling fan a lot, and during the day, I wear a sweatshirt most of the time because I'm just stinking cold all the time. And when a hot flash hits, I just have to peel it off and get cool, and then I start getting cold again. But,
Steve, how long you been on ADT?
Since July. So what, 10 months, 9 months?
Yeah, they told me a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed on the Facebook page that whichever one that is, somebody referred to something called a chill pad. I guess you put it on your bed and sleep on it, and I don't know if it regulates, but I was given a thought to maybe trying one of those things.
Is it electrically powered or?
I'm not sure. I looked at it real quick and it was pretty expensive, so I quit looking at it, but
Well, there's always Christmas.
that's right.
Yeah.
I have one of those in-room air conditioners that it's on wheels, but you got to pipe the hot air out
Yeah.
and you put it through a window. And I would think that, like, when I'm in my office, I have it in there because it's removed from the rest of the house, air conditioning. And yeah, I just hit a remote and it turns it on. It cools the room really fast. I would think if you wanted or needed that would be a good way to,
Yeah.
like what Mark has in his window, kind of same thing.
I actually have one of those in my garage too. It's sitting about 4 feet away from me, but don't need it right now. But during the summertime, it comes in real handy.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, talking about hot flashes. My dad gets them so bad that he has to change his shirt.
Oh,
yeah.
It will just be soaked. I mean, his whole shirt is just completely soaked, and he'll take it off and go put a new one on.
Oh.
Luckily, I haven't had that. So
No, it is
I've
kind of
had all the other side effects, but my experience with hot flashes was really minimal. I think I had 3 or 4 in the first couple months that I was on ADT, and they were all very minor, just sweat beating my hairline, sort of the sort of thing where, I wiped my forehead and said, yeah, that feels a little odd, but it didn't affect me any more than that. I didn't get any flushing of the face or dripping sweat or sweat anywhere else. So I was very fortunate in that regard.
Yeah, I remember getting the first ones and like, what the hell is this? I felt like the guy from the Fantastic Four, the flam on. And it's just coming from inside of you. It's like no matter what the temperature is around you, you've just gone to 1,000 degrees internal temperature. And And I've had Kelly feel me, you know, and she's like, yeah, you are warm. You know, I'll get the face redness and that kind of stuff with it. But, how
Yeah,
much?
I was with my dad early on in mine, and all he did was laugh at me.
Because he knows what you're going through.
Yeah,
Misery loves company.
yeah, exactly.
So Lee, you were saying that they're going to have you on ADT for a year.
Yeah, that's the projection right now. If and it's all going to depend. Every your PSA determines the path of your life from here on out. So they're going to check it again in 4 weeks, and then another 4 weeks, and then if it's come down, then I start radiation. I have to get my simulation, then I start radiation. So it's going to be about 10, 12 weeks before I start. But just had an MRI a couple of months ago, or actually about a month ago, and it showed that I was a 4+3. So it's my new radiologist was pretty honest with me. It's like I asked him, it's like, is this aggressive? And I said, yep, it's aggressive. So hopefully this will knock it. And from everything I've kind of read and looked at on everything, it's like if you don't knock it the first time really good, when it comes back, it's really angry.
So, and are you metastasized anywhere?
There's suspicion of that. There, because the MRI showed that it has probably, and couldn't really determine for sure, but it's kind of looks like it's pushing out the prostate. So there's a good chance that if I'm not Mets now, give it a little time.
Well, we'll be praying that that's not the direction it goes.
Yeah.
Lee, are you also planning to do the protective gel?
I was, but it's a long story. But I'm not going to do that now because just for time consideration, that would just add another procedure to things, and I want to try and get down the road as quick as possible on this. The guy I'm going to, which is the same guy that Indio went to, that's all they do is prostate cancer. That's all they do, and Indio he didn't have the space ore either, and you haven't had any problems.
Other than minor fatigue, that these guys seem to have a lot more stronger than me, and the yawning. No, that was it. And this month, at the end of this month, will mark my 90 days out. So I get the blood work the following week, and then we'll know what the PSA number looks like.
What kind of radiation are you guys getting?
I'm gonna have IMRT.
Right. I had 25 IMRT, and I didn't have the space gel either, and had no problems.
Yeah.
When did you say your next blood work was, Indio?
First week in April.
Okay.
So we'll know what the numbers are.
I just had mine, and mine was undetectable still.
Yay!
Cool. Yeah. Party.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. Party at March Place.
Yeah.
All right, and Ski, what's going on with you right now? Where are you sitting? I don't mean physically, but
Yeah, I just had both my bone scan and CT scan done within the last couple of weeks. I couldn't read the CT scan to tell. Nothing popped out really bad, and the bone scan indicated that the spot on my skull was decreased from the last one.
oh, good.
So unless in medical terms that's bad, I think I'm okay. And then I get my blood work done next week, and then on the 23rd I meet with my oncologist. So we'll see what he says. You know, the last meeting in December is when he dropped the bomb that you've got a year, maybe 2 kind of thing. And so we'll see if he's changed his tune any on that.
I think doctors who give you a time frame should be shot.
Well, I pushed him on it because, you know, we live in a house, a 2-story house with no bedrooms on the bottom floor.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm not going to be able to go up the stairs after a while. And my wife and I actually put an offer in on a house, probably not too far from you, Mark, over by Slater and Graham. And, you know, this couldn't be a worse time to buy a house in California. I mean, there was a bidding war, and
right.
The 1,200 square foot house went for like $950,000.
Wow.
So, you know, we're trying to make plans and stay ahead of the game, but it's hard when you just don't know.
Move to Florida.
Move to Arizona. You could buy 3 single-story houses for $900,000.
Yeah.
I'm moving to Arizona. Forget it.
Hey, Steve, I watched your testimonial finally, and that was very moving, well-spoken. I really, really enjoyed that. I'm so glad you did that.
Oh, thank you very much.
I think you did a really wonderful, heartfelt job with that.
Yeah, it was the most difficult and rewarding thing I've ever done.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
I can imagine.
And I have to tell you, Steve had sent me an invitation for that to go, and through a mix-up of losing the email and all that kind of stuff, I didn't make it. And I'm so glad I got to see it on video, because I can guarantee you if I was there, I would have just been a blithering, you know, sitting in a chair, just crying, bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
I was very disappointed you didn't make it, Mark, so you can buy me lunch next week.
Absolutely.
Milk it.
That's right. Play that guilt card. You know, it's like I tell my wife, I go, hey, I'm playing the cancer card.
Yeah. I'm looking on Amazon to see if you can buy those things. They must have them somewhere.
They gotta. I know we got the FU cards from Brian, that I'm sure we can make up something too that says I'm playing the cancer card.
Were you aware of that organization I sent you the information about that's here in Huntington Beach?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And because we were talking about that, and as long as, because they've copyrighted the actual logo,
right?
They haven't copyrighted the word, so you can still do the actual. I don't want to use that word on the channel, but you know, FU cancer, you can use that word. You just can't use theirs with the little skull and everything.
Right.
But I think it's hard to. It's hard to copyright a word. Brooks got away with copywriting the small g. He was able to do that, but I imagine that cost him a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Ryan, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I got food all over me.
I go, yeah, save it for later. Don't brush it off. Save it for later. That's crazy.
Is everybody here married?
No.
You're not married?
Yeah. 32 years.
Everybody, David's not. You're not married?
No.
Yeah, my wife and I have been married for 45 years, and
Wow.
Congratulations.
we had breakfast inside at IHOP this morning. It was a real treat to sit inside a restaurant for a change.
Nice.
Very cool.
Down on Main Street?
On PCA, I mean on Beach.
Oh, okay.
But the topic that came up was my wife is going through the grieving process while I'm still alive.
Yeah.
And it's a really strange phenomenon.
Yeah.
So,
It's,
you know, I mean,
How is she expressing that, Ski?
she just, you know, the thought of losing me pops into her head all the time.
Yeah.
I guess I call it the grieving process, just for lack of a better term, but
It's only
stay positive, and you know, we got a big support group.
That's when she's got to fight through it. That's when it comes in.
Yeah, my mom and dad have been married for 61 years, and she said she does that all the time.
Yeah.
But my dad's also 80 and has numerous other issues too. I mean, prostate cancer, he's been alive now 13 years with stage 4 prostate cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that gives
So,
me hope.
yeah, well, and that's what I mean. It's like the doctors give you this 1 or 2 year thing. And then I just today, I was looking at a post that somebody posted on the metastatic prostate cancer board and said, how long has it been since you were diagnosed? And you go down there and you see guys at 10 years, 12 years, 8 years, 13 years. And you're like, okay. And then I just start questioning, what did you have done? And a lot of them, it was just like bicalutamide. One guy was 12 years and all he's ever had was bicalutamide and Lupron. And he still is, his PSAs are still undetectable. So when you look at it, that's why I say a doctor is doing a disservice by giving you a time frame, like my doctor said, because I kept pushing him too. How long? And he said, he just looked at me and he started laughing. He goes, 6 months to 30 years. And I went, okay, so you're not going to tell me. He goes, no, I'm not. He says,
Well, Jack, you got to keep in mind that it's a selective sample because the ones who haven't made it aren't responding.
Right. Well, and that's what my doctor said. And he told me point blank right after that. He said, my objective is to keep you alive long enough that you die with cancer.
But when they give you a time like that, they're forcing you to borrow trouble,
Yeah.
You don't know.
Well, I didn't ask my oncologist. I haven't brought it up that directly, but I did do a fair amount of research and reading and saw the stats on the American Cancer Society website, and sort of made my plans accordingly to get all of my affairs in order as quickly as possible. And once that was behind me, then it's just a matter of looking ahead. And because I've been doing chemotherapy for the past few months, I've been sort of living 3 weeks to 3 weeks to 3 weeks. And now that that's behind me, I can start expanding that. I can start living 3 months to 3 months to the next set of tests.
Right.
I'm not spending a lot of effort fretting over it. I got good results from my latest set of chemo, which gives me a lot of confidence that I'm going to see 2022. And I figure my odds of seeing 2023 are probably about 50-50. But who knows what'll come up in the meanwhile. So make the most of every day.
Hey,
Exactly.
who knows what'll happen tomorrow? So get right with the Lord. Right, Ski?
Amen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amen with that.
Who knows what happens tomorrow?
Yeah, I know people who've been told such things, and they're looking back, 1, 5, 10 years back more than they thought they were going to be alive. And then I also know people who don't do any kind of checks to see if they have anything medically. They just would rather keep their head in the sand, and they don't know. They might have a year, they might have 6 months, they might have 10 years, and then they die in a plane crash the next day. I mean, live your life. Live like you're going to die tomorrow, but learn like you're going to live forever.
Yeah, my grandfather had an aneurysm in his legs in the 60s, and the doctor gave him 6 months to live. He outlived the doctor who gave him that and did not die from the aneurysms. He lived to be like 73 or 74, and he died from smoking.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
So take
Yep.
that, Doc.
Yeah, exactly.
Medicine's it's like the weather. They know the odds and they give you odds and all that, but it doesn't mean that you can still be an outlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So Ski, how are you able to help your wife?
We pray a lot and we cry a lot and we just talk through it.
Does she have someone to talk to, like a friend?
Oh, we've got a real intimate church that we belong to, and she's got lots of girlfriends that they get together every week for prayer, and
That's huge.
yeah, it is huge.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
My daughters just get mad at me because I joke about stuff all the time. They'll say, hey, we're planning on doing this next year, and I'll be like, yeah, if I'm still around, and they'll just be like, stop, don't do that.
Yeah, it's funny for me because my wife, when we first started this journey, she was right there with me, putting me in the hospital when we got the call that I had cancer, and because I was going in to get my suprapubic tube installed, and so she just instantly became my biggest cheerleader, and all kinds of support, and it's just morphed as time has gone by because we're coming up on almost 2 years since my diagnosis, and you know, she's been there through everything, through all the treatments and through all of the, you know, my highs and my lows and that kind of stuff. And it's funny because a lot of times you don't think to check on the other person, on your wife, you know, like Ski, your wife is being vocal about it and saying something, which makes it good. You know that it's there and you can help with it. A lot of times the partner doesn't say anything, you know, and they're internalizing it because they feel like, well, if I say anything, I'm showing weakness and I want to be there to support, you know. And so Kelly and I have had that conversation, and I'm extremely lucky that I have the wife I have. I mean, she's very vocal about it. She's very understanding if I get cranky, you know, because of the testosterone and estrogen thing going on in my body. It's just one of those things where I'm so freaking lucky to have what I have. And I see these guys on the boards, you know, there's one guy that I think almost everybody looked at it this week, where his wife bailed on him and left him and found a better version of him. I was like, oh, geez. You know, I can't fathom, I can't imagine going through that, you know, but it's just one of those things where your lines of communication open up quite a bit if you're lucky, you know, and you can talk to your wife about it. And the weird thing that we have too, and my family comments it all the time, they forget I have cancer because I, you know, now that I'm back into my normal routine after the radiation, they forget, you know, and I'm not letting it slow me down. I still go out and do what I want to do. And, you know, yeah, I might crash in the afternoon, have to take a nap or something, but I don't whine about it. I don't complain about it. You know, if it works out that we don't fix this, if we don't cure it, I'm okay to go. You know, I mean, there's more in this world I would like to do before I leave, but if I leave now, I'm okay with that. You know, I'm right with the Lord, and you know, if that's where we go afterwards, then fine. I'm just all right with that. You know, I'm not going to choose to die, but you know, I just reached that calmness finally, where I know if you know, if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, I wouldn't know the difference one way or the other. So as long as it's, you know, if it's cancer that takes me out, the one thing I pray is that it's not a long protracted thing where I'm stuck in a bed. You know, I would just rather hit by the bus than to have to go through that stuff. But yeah, I'm extremely
pledge to each other that we're going to keep laughing through it all. So whenever she goes to the grocery store, I always tell her, don't buy any green bananas.
Yeah, we laugh because we can't cry, but you know, Mark, you bring up a good point. I mean, about, you know, my wife, she's probably the best support team in the world. And when I think about, you know, David not being married, I feel for you, because having that partner, to me, I don't know how I'd do it without her. But then again, I don't know when she's being quiet, like you're saying, Mark, that maybe I got to ask her how she's doing, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I'll do the same thing. Thanks, Ski.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. And David, I wish you had someone. I really do.
Well, I have a fair amount of family close by, and I have a fairly big extended family that I'm in good touch with. But for example, my aunt and uncle live nearby, and I talk to them once a week. We used to go out for breakfast together, and we'll resume that once I've had my COVID shot. They've had theirs. I talk to my dad once a week, so I stay in pretty good communication. But I am something of an introvert, so I like my alone time, and I deal with it in my own ways. I'm certainly a lot more emotional than I used to be, but that means when I get angry or get tearful or whatever, I can rant and rave around the apartment, and doesn't bother anybody.
We can always send you that website. We can always send you to that website, Philippine Girls for the Lonely Guy.
Hey, you know what? Maybe they offer
RussianBrides.com.
You know, where you buy the bride. Maybe they offer a discount if your life expectancy is shorter. You know, because basically you're going to rent her. You know, you're not going to have her forever.
Well, actually, that might be a help to live a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you, that is one of the things that Kelly and I laugh about, and fortunately, she's a good sport about it, because obviously that part of my anatomy is not working, and we don't know if it ever will again or not. So, we make a lot of jokes about it. And we'll be like, hey, remember when we used to, do this and do that? And,
Right.
or I'll tell her, man, because, I'll go out in the kitchen and she's bending over reading her phone or something on the counter. And I'll walk up behind her and go, hey, you remember back when, it's because, yes, I do. So you just kind of have to laugh about it, instead of going, oh man, I can't believe this part of our life might be over. But
Yeah.
if
Still
you
hope. Keep
Yeah, if
hope
you
alive.
if you don't laugh, you'll never get out of it alive, right?
That's
Exactly.
right. That's right.
You still have to find the humor.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm amazed that like on that Facebook group, there every day you go on there, there's a new person that I just got diagnosed and just joined the group and blah blah blah. And it's amazing to me that how many there are. But and you get burnt out of like saying your story and chipping in. But I don't ever stop. I want to keep being there.
Yeah. And
Whatever happened to that
It's
fellow?
funny too, because you'll notice some guys on there feel that way, Brian, and you can feel it in their comments when they'll say, well, you could research this or you could find it here. You're like, dude, back off. You started here too somewhere and you were scared shitless and you had to ask questions, So it's weird how you could lose that empathy unless maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe their ADT is kicking in and they're grumpy. But it is really hard when I see those guys make those kind of comments.
And there's a couple guys on there that are having bad days all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the fellow we reached out to? Jay Cook.
Jimmy
or
Clock?
something? Yeah.
Jimmy Clock, yeah. I haven't seen an update on him in most of this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was-
I went and posted that day. But
yeah,
I've got my story down, in a text file. And if somebody's really talking about not knowing, I just say, look, here's a little positive, because I consider what happened with me really positive, from 193 to 0 in 4 months. And it's been undetectable since then. It's like it all went right as far as I'm concerned.
Can we say miracle?
that's what my neurologist said.
Yeah.
There you go.
People like hearing about that.
Yeah, so I just put, and I know some people are probably getting tired of seeing it, but it's like I adjusted, I just adjusted it from 6 months to 7 months, that it's been undetectable, but it's keeping going. And I was just thinking today, on April 28th, I celebrate 1 year from finding out I had cancer, and May 28th, 1 year I found out that I had stage 4 cancer. So
Wow.
it's coming up on a year, and that's one down.
Yeah,
Wow.
May 17th,
From
2 years for me.
here on out, birthdays are going to be a lot more important to me.
Yeah.
It'll be 2 years for me at the beginning of June. And I've got part of my calendar is it's set off about 6 month intervals. And every 6 months I'll mark off it's still alive.
Very cool.
Exactly.
2 years in September.
Congratulations.
That's crazy. And I think, Ski, you're probably the most recently diagnosed.
Yeah, July 8th last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just after
wait,
me.
you know what?
I'm after.
The other Steve has you beat. I think he was January.
Oh, yeah, he
this,
was. That's right. January.
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I'm just pushing people to get checked. I have friends and family who won't go get checked. They just don't want to go get their PSA. They won't get the finger. I am lucky that I get, regular physicals every 6 months as an airline pilot. And so we got it early because of that. And my doctor says, I want to do this. I want blood work. I want to do all that. And I'm just, whatever you say, we do. But people want, I have a friend right now, I'm trying to talk him into it. And he's just having issues that I won't talk about. But I mean, he needs to go. I said, get a PSA. He goes, I'm afraid they're probably going to get a finger. And I'm like, don't. I told him, don't fear the finger. I showed him my mug, But they'd rather just put their head in the sand. And that's when I think things are worse.
That's right.
Yeah, I've had numerous friends who have went and got their PSA levels checked because I had prostate cancer. And one of them, he just told me the other day that his is elevated and they're monitoring it. And then another one is in his 40s and he's like, I'm going to get my levels checked. He says, I said, man, just to was it just this morning? I was reading a guy on the board on the group that gave his story. You know, that he's 2.6, and it's he gave the whole thing. And I just said, look, man, at your age, and he was 51. I said, at your age, mine was less than 2. At 58, it was 193. I said, do not wait.
Yeah, it's the trend that matters. So the first one is the gimme.
Yeah.
The next ones, and you just got to see what the trend is after that.
Because if I would have been getting yearlies, you know, every year, we would have probably caught it way earlier than we did. But I'm a man. What do I say? We don't.
Yeah.
I got a buddy that's going through that. He's been, progressively going up over the last 10 years, but it's like a point at a time, point at a time.
Yeah.
And so he finally last year got the biopsy, and they said, yeah, you do have cancer. And he says, but there's really nothing to do. And they're doing the wait and watch thing. I would have a hard time with that. Right. Because my first thought was, when they told me, I'll get it out of me, get it out. Let's cut it, do whatever you got to do, get it out of me. And they said, that's not an option for you. It's too big and it's too aggressive. We can't make that happen. But he's coming to grips with it, to be able to relax a little bit about it. Because it's been almost a year since they told me he had cancer, and he just got checked again. And again, the PSA went up a little bit. And again, doctor says, at this point, you're okay. It's,
how old is he?
67. I think 67, probably right around there.
Probably die with it, not from it.
Probably,
right.
Probably. But it's just so weird because there's so many other things that get involved with this. It's not like lung cancer where they say, okay, well, we're going to radiate you, we're going to chemo you, or we're going to cut it out.
Right.
With prostate cancer, there's so many choices, so many different ways to deal with it. And then so many different doctors. So it's like, okay, this guy says do it this way. This guy says do it this way. The masterminds on Facebook say do it this way.
Yeah.
I wanted it out.
People angrily giving advice on Facebook. It's like, shut up.
Yeah, don't do that. Just give facts. Here's what I did. Here's what my scenario was. Here's what I decided and why. And like this morning, I responded to the guy, said, I got a prostatectomy. And what I didn't know, because I just wanted to get it out. And so we got it out. And I said, one thing I wish I'd have known going into it was that 30% of all people who have that have a recurrence and ultimately need radiation. I just think it's a fact that people should know. My doctor didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Well, I think, somebody said this is like when it comes to your urologist, I mean, that's what they do, surgery. So if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Exactly.
I think I lucked out. My urologist told me right up front, when she saw it was 193, I would say, well, so do we have surgery? And she point blank told me, she says, probably not. She says, I'm going to send you to to an oncologist and discuss it with him, and then we'll get back to you, because she would be the one that did the surgery. But she was very upfront, and the second she saw my biopsy results, she was like, I was at an oncologist within a couple of days. So, and the oncologist I got is, I love him. I mean, I just can't say any more positive things about him. In fact, my neurologist said when he found out that was my oncologist, he point blank told me, he said, if I could clone an oncologist, he'd be the guy I clone. Because he works within you. He wants you to have a good life. He wants you to continue living. It's not like everything is, a cookie cutter that he tries to put everybody into the same thing.
That's good. He's clearly doing right by you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fortunate. That is fortunate. Well, listen, guys, we're hitting the noon hour here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording here, but why don't you guys stay on? So we're going to chat a little bit after the recording is done. And I just want to let you guys know too, how much I appreciate you doing this, taking time out of your day to be here. How much I love you guys, how much I love the crap you guys put on our text thread. I have so much fun with that. Is there anybody here that's not on the text thread right now? David, are you on there? Okay, David, I got to put you on there.
I'm not, but there are limitations on that anyway, so don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, we have a lot of fun talking to each other, and it's a great thing of support too. And I didn't get a chance yet to talk to Lee and Indio at the same time, but I'm going to set up an interview for you guys to be able to talk, because you know, talking to Indio off the air and talking to Lee, man, great story. And you guys got a chance to go to breakfast, so I'd like to do a recap for everybody, you know, so we can get your story out there. Ski, I still need to do an interview with you too. No need to go into as much depth as you did at the church unless you feel, you know, comfortable doing that. But
Yeah.
David, same thing. I need, and I apologize, guys. I meant by now to have the individual interviews done, and it's with my family, a lot of health stuff going on right now. Kelly's family, so we're trying to get everything, you know, all of our ducks in a row and get lined up. So I do appreciate you guys taking time out. Also wanted to say that we missed Tom. He's doing carpentry work today for his daughter, and Steve Nelson. I love this term. I just have to tell you what he said. He sent me a text and he said, I got Huckleberry Finned into painting. So I'm going to use that term now. I like that. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And to everybody that's watching, if you guys want to follow along on our journey, feel free to do so. It's the usual stuff. Click subscribe below. In fact, I looked this morning with Kelly, and I think we're at 293 subscribers to the page. And, click the little bell. It'll notify you when there's a new video up there. And of course, the likes and thumbs up do really help quite a bit. So like I say, guys, stay on. I'm going to go ahead and end the video though. So thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. You can say goodbye. I didn't mean you had to.
All right.
Later.
Bye-bye.